right now in 2026 sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, okay? I'm seeing all the scandals, all the cheating, all the relationships that we thought was perfect coming out. What has this world gone into? Let's get into our very first episode of dating in 2026. What's really going on? Girl, let's talk about it. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our very first point, which is situationships and the fear of commitment. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of this go around last year and the last few years in relationships. First of all, a situationship. Nobody is defining anything. Everybody's just kind of vibing or whatever that is. Because I feel like I can catch a vibe with a song, and yeah, I can catch a vibe with a person. But that's like my friend. Like me and my friend be girl, this is not your friend. This is someone that you want to spend eternal life with. Like, get yourself together, right? And I feel like people are really, really scared to commit nowadays. And I feel like everybody wants the benefit of a relationship, right? You want the love, you want the attention, you want the intimacy, you want the security, right? But you don't want the responsibility of the title. Yeah, that's just my situationship. So when her birthday come around, you don't really need to get her nothing. Valentine's Day is coming up in a few weeks. I don't really need to get that just for her because that's my situationship. That's not my girl. We don't claim each other. You feel me? That's not my man. That's not my girl. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it really confuses me. Like, it make my scalp itch when people say that, because even before I met my partner, I always had stages. Like, I was talking, I was dating, and then that was it. So even if after dating for a little while, 3, 4, 5 months, and I'm like, okay, this is not really my vibe, and I'm very upfront about it. I'll tell somebody like, I don't know, and it's up to you if you want to be delusional or not. Okay, but I never really lived in this long, undefined title. Okay, I never did this. I never was in the middle of like, oh, this is like I'm together with this man. I'm upset if this person go with somebody else. Like, I'm just confused on this situationship scandal, right? And it's always a back and forth between people, and someone always ends up getting hurt within a situationship. Point two, something else that I've been seeing a lot lately is the social media really has messed up the expectations of what we are to expect when we're in relationships. And I feel like this one is heavy because everyone's comparing themselves to social media and relationships on social media. You're comparing their lifestyle, you're comparing their gifts, you're comparing your relationship to it. And I feel like you know what you signed up for when you got together with that man. Okay? A lot of us do, like, and I'm not talking about those people that be like MTV Catfish, because some of us that be us in real life. Trust me, I've been on MTV Catfish, not in real life, but like, well, in real, okay, not on the TV show, but you get what I'm trying to say. Anyways, it does happen to us women and to men. Don't get me wrong, but like when you've been talking to a dude, right, for a while now, and all of a sudden you're scrolling through TikTok and you're scrolling through Instagram and you're seeing these big bouquet of flowers and you're just looking at him in disgust like, you've never got a new one. Oh, look, she got a new car. Oh, Toya's man got her. What are you comparing relationships for? This is you and yours. Like, if you don't like something, say something. Instead, you're looking at this man holding grudges and looking at him in disgust because you're comparing your relationship to something else that probably isn't even as genuine. Half of these online relationships, I don't believe it. Every year, every 6 months, somebody's breaking up, and they've been with each other for 15, 16, 17, 18 years. Social media plays a huge part. You done opened your door to all these people, all these different things. You're literally sending an invitation to other people to come join you in your relationship. So that's the same thing you're doing when you're comparing yourself to Becky and you're comparing yourself to this person online. Leave Becky alone, let her get her 2,000 roses. That's what her man wants to do, but that's what her man been doing before the social media. So you understand what she knows what she got into. She just started posting it. You knew that your man didn't get you no flowers, but maybe he pay all your bills, make sure everything good for you. That's his love. It's different types of love languages, but yet still we let social media really influence us into what we think that they're doing. We're thinking that he's not giving us big enough gestures. We're thinking that he's not doing anything that's enough. And that's just not realistic for everybody. Everybody's not like that. Every man don't got it like that. Okay, we be sitting up here thinking that this man that we with got big bucks. You know this man don't got no big bucks. Or you know that you're financially in a place that you're trying to move forward. For me, I know that right now I'm in a place where I know what I'm about to do by the end of the year. So I know the money, we not spending money like that over here. Because I know what the goal is for us at the end of the year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some things are just not realistic, and we need to stop letting social media influence us so much. Okay? And I feel like for me, in my relationship, I've been very what's the word? Content in my relationship, because I feel like my man does just enough that is for me. Okay? And I feel like that's what a lot of women don't understand. Like, you should be happy with whatever he does, whether he cooks you dinner, whether he bakes you cookies. Be content with what you have. Appreciate what you have, because a lot of the times, the stuff that we see on social media, it's not real. It's not. We always see these social media couples break up, and then we be like, oh my goodness, if they're not together, then I don't, that's your problem. You all up in their business instead of your business. And this leads me into my next point, which is the truth. Self-love before relationships. And I'm going to be very real with y'all, okay? Because some of y'all want a relationship just to say you got one. Like, you don't even like yourself for real, but you want somebody else that can come in and fix that. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Some people want to be in relationships because they want to feel chosen, because they want the attention, because they want someone to text them good morning and good night. But it's not the same thing as being ready for a relationship, okay? It's not. It's not the same thing. How are you wanting someone to love you and be loved somebody when you don't even know how to love yourself properly? And then this is where we get burnt out, and this is when we get heartbroken, and this is when we get into these things like the social media realistically. Like, how about in 2026, instead of rushing into a relationship and rushing into a dinner with a man or rushing into another man's bed, how about you get to know yourself, get to know your boundaries, get to know what triggers yourself, get to know why you keep picking the same type of people, same type of man, because it's something that you're missing, something that you're lacking. Because if you do not know, nobody's just going to come in and tell you who you are. This is something that you got to sit down and really define between you and God. This is something that you have to really look into, okay? Because this is why a lot of women, I feel like, are confused, heartbroken, and they're crying in their car talking about, why does this keep happening to me? Well, baby, sometimes it's not them. It's not them that's hurting your heart. It's not them. It's you. Because sometimes it's the fact that you skipped the healing part and went straight into the dating part. Okay. And being alone is not a curse. First of all, it's not. I love my alone time. I loved my alone time when I was alone. Although you sometimes, when you're alone, you're like, oh, I want a man. But then you see your friend, and you're like, wait a second, girl. Keep that over there, okay? Because being alone is not a curse. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes being alone is God protecting you and preparing you for something that you're asking for, okay? You are valuable before anyone gets to tell you that you are, as women. And so my fourth point is what actually will help a relationship last. And this is from the perspective of me and my own experience and from being in a relationship now, right? And one, actually getting to know each other. Me and my boyfriend or my partner, we really got to know each other. The first month and a half when we were talking slash dating, we were right like 15 minutes away from each other. And then I moved, and so we were then a 3-hour driving distance from each other. And we were talking all the time, like texting, talking all the time. Like, anytime we had the opportunity to be on the phone with each other, we were always asking each other some type of games, some type of questions, like some type of Q&A. Like, we were doing all different types of stuff, right? And I feel like that really helped us get to know each other. Another thing that we used to do a lot heavy, and we still do it in person, but really, really heavy on the phone, was Bible study. It was like, that's how we got to know each other, like, more intimately, spiritually, in that way. It was like, oh my goodness, we Bible study, we would go on and on and on and talk and talk and talk about these different things and different perspectives. And like, we got to know each other in that time because we weren't always up in each other's face. And I feel like sometimes it's different when you're up in each other's face compared to where, this is how I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you like this. Like how you seeing me, I'm seeing you like this. And I feel like that was one thing that I feel like really helped our relationship, because we actually got to know each other, not surface level, but we got to know each other very deeply. Number two, know what you want. know what you want in a relationship. This is really, really important. For me, when I did this, I always used to hear my mother, and my mother does this. She's a big journaler. She journals everything. And I have another friend, I love her to death. She got me back into journaling. I used to journal with my mom. I stopped a little bit, moved out to Florida, and I got back into journaling due to a friend. She actually bought me a journal to get me started again. And in my journal, I wrote down a husband prayer. Because when you're in college and you're in your 20s, you kind of do want that love and that lifestyle. And like I said, it's nothing wrong with wanting it. But at the same time, I didn't know much about relationships. I wasn't in a lot of relationships, big things, stuff like that. So I feel like, okay, I need A, take this time to get to know myself and what I want. And B, I need to write down what I want from like God, like a godly aspect of what I want my covenant to look like. Because when I get into a relationship, I don't plan on divorcing. Okay. So I sat down and I wrote a husband prayer. And this husband prayer was detailed, 2 pages. Okay. Wrote down this husband prayer, and I really was careful what I asked God, because God will give you exactly what you ask for. So I was detailed. Okay. Very detailed. And at the very end of my prayer, and I said, God, if there's anything that's missing or anything that you know that's not good for me that I wrote down, God, please remove it or add what you need to add. Like, I really was very detailed about it and very intentional about what I wrote down for my prayer. So I put down the things that I want to know. And then um like what I wanted. And then I would say another thing is, when you're dating, although sometimes like you get that emotional burnout, like, oh my goodness, like what am I doing wrong? Da 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 da. Da. It's important because you kind of get to see, like, if I'm delusional, or I get to see the things that I need, things that I don't need. You kind of get to see what you need for yourself, right? And you see, you know what, I don't want that in a man, but I really did like how this man did this. You get to know what you want. So I feel like dating sometimes, although I wanted personally a one and done, it just wasn't possible. And I really got to know what I liked in a relationship and versus what I didn't. And my last point on how, or what helps a relationship last, it's okay to have space. Oh my goodness, y'all. You still need your friends when you're in a relationship. Heavy on, you still need your friends in a relationship, okay? And you still need your alone time in a relationship. It's okay to have a balance. You're probably not going to always spend as much time with your friends as you used to, but you're not always going to spend this time with your friends. I've been very gracious and very grateful to have amazing friends that know, like, I can balance both. I can kiki and hang out with my friends and kiki and hang out with my men. When I used to go visit my boyfriend, when we were long distance, I used to go out there and go kiki with my friends. Oh yeah, I'm out here, I'm gonna go see my friends. And he was okay with that. And he was gonna go kiki with his friends. And it's okay with that. Like, it's okay to have that time alone, to be with yourself. Sometimes I take myself out. He takes himself out. He has his hobbies. One of his favorite hobbies that he does now, that where it's like his really good alone time, is he's into photography. So he'll go out and he'll take nature pictures. My alone time sometimes, maybe a little shopping, making my content for you guys, Bible studying, spending time with my friends. Like, I just have a lot of different things that I like to do. I like to eat. So taking myself out to eat, things like that, taking yourself on dates, spending that intimate time with yourself is so important. You do not have to be glued to your man 24/7. Give yourself some space to breathe, okay? Healthy space helps a relationship. It does not hurt them. And then one more thing that I wanted to add, that's like a little bonus, is private but not a secret. I feel like another thing that really helped my relationship is that our relationship is very private, but it's not a secret. Everybody knows he has a girl, and everybody knows that I have a man. And if you didn't know, now you know. Okay? Like, people know that people know that we're together, but people are not in my business. That's the problem, because everybody does do their relationship different, but too many outside opinions can really mess with your peace. And I think people forget that. Like, it's okay to sometimes seek advice. It's okay. Not even sometimes. It's okay to seek advice and you really don't know which way to turn. It tells us in the Bible to, like, lean on others and to get counselship if you need it, right? But for me to put my business on the relationship, or subliminal blows back and forth, or Instagram story, it's not necessary. Me, you are here. We're going to talk about it. You have my number. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to keep it private, but not a secret, right? And as a Christian, for me, I really believe relationships are bigger than the cute little pictures, right? It's about God building something different. It's about God building something deeper, and it's about God building a covenant, okay? So, what I want to say to you guys at the end, if you're single, okay, what has been been like for you? Go ahead and drop it in the comments below. If you're in a relationship, how does dating feel different than what it used to be? And let's really have a conversation in the comments. And if you like this conversation about life, faith, and relationships, then make sure you subscribe, because this is just episode 1 of Girl, Let's Talk About Life. I'll see y'all next time.